With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State.
But you know, as they say, hail to the Redskins. Let's roll, man. Let's go. Defensively, you would have loved to have seen how the linebackers have gone, things have done. Ryan Anderson is a young man that we obviously got to find a home for, find how we can use Ryan with his particular skill set.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. So you heard Ron Rivera to start this show, and I talked about this very, very briefly last week when we talked about his presser, but he referenced Ryan Anderson, and this wasn't a prompted response. This wasn't a direct question about Ryan Anderson. This was an overall view question asked by a reporter on the conference call. Matter of fact, it was by the reporter from The Athletic. His name escapes me at the moment, but he asked the question about how has this whole COVID-19 situation made it a little tough on you being able to see guys at specific positions where you may have open competitions like linebacker, like offensive tackle, like the quarterback position, corner, secondary, that, so on and so forth. And so he wasn't directly asked about Ryan Anderson, and you got that response out of him as he kind of went through each positional group. And so when I first heard it, when you hear things, you interpret them differently. And when I first heard this, I thought to myself, they're going to try to find a way to get Ryan Anderson on the field. They like his skill set. They think that this guy is ultra talented and maybe was being misused by the last staff. And so they're going to find ways to get Ryan Anderson on the field. But now, after hearing reports, and I'm hearing this from multiple outlets of people talking about Ryan Anderson potentially being on the trading block. And look, I don't know about you. I'm going to ask you this question here in a second. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pose this question to you right now. Leave it down in the description what your response to this is. Should the Redskins move linebacker Ryan Anderson? Hold on before you answer, though. This is what the compensation right around, as I'm hearing people talk, this is what the compensation is looking like. Remember that deal we got for Quentin Dunbar, 5th round pick? That's right around what the Redskins would fetch back from Ryan Anderson, a 5th or a 6th round pick. So you're talking about a late round draft choice in next year's draft. How would you feel about that? Would you be on board with the Redskins moving Ryan Anderson for a late round draft choice next year? Now remember, if he plays in 2020, and let's just say he has a meager season, let's say he has an average at best season, he's gone in free agency anyway, and you're probably not going to get a comp pick back for him. So the question is, do you get something for him in return before he leaves, or do you ride it out, see what you have? Maybe he explodes in this new defense under Jack Del Rio. All right, maybe he was being played out of position, and maybe this is the breath of fresh air that Ryan Anderson needed to reach his full potential in this league. I don't know if they even know what to do with him. When you listen to that clip, and I'm going to play it once more on the way out. When you listen to that soundbite, it sounds like they have no clue what to do with Ryan Anderson. Maybe that changes when they get him on the field. All right, maybe that changes once they start setting up their personnel and they find a spot for him. Because to me, he's a quintessential strong side linebacker in a 4-3 defense. It makes a ton of sense to just stick him out there, allow him to blow up tight ends and be a force in the run game. But maybe they have a different view of what Ryan Anderson's skill set means for this defense and really what it means for their roster. And maybe they think they're better off moving this guy now because they have a wealth of depth at the linebacker position. I don't know if we have a great group of backers. I know we have a lot of depth, something we haven't had in the past. And maybe they see a guy like Ryan Anderson as being expendable. So, question, I'm going to pose it to you once more. Should the Redskins really consider moving Ryan Anderson if they find the right deal? And maybe that deal, maybe the best you're going to get. And look, let's be honest with ourselves. Ryan Anderson was our 2nd round pick, which I never agreed with. You guys know that. But no one else is looking at Ryan Anderson as a high commodity, high value player. He hasn't produced at a high level in this league. Now, last year, as I mentioned, he was one of the most improved players on this roster. So if you're going off of last season, there's some upside with Ryan Anderson and some untapped potential that maybe another team looks at and says, hey, we'll give you a 5th-round pick for this guy going into the last year of his rookie contract. Maybe this guy hits it big, and we'll have the first shot at re-signing him next offseason. No one's hit the field yet, so he'd be just like everybody else coming into a different team, not having any advantage or disadvantage. He'd be thrown into the mix on another squad. It's not too late to hop on and have an opportunity. What do you think the Redskins should do if this is in fact a real thing? Because again, when you listen to Rivera talk, they sound like a group that isn't 100% sold on Ryan Anderson having a real role on this football team. Should the Redskins pull the trigger on moving Ryan Anderson should the opportunity present itself? Or are you more in the camp of, hey, let's see what we have with this new defense. Maybe Ryan Anderson can start to live up to that 2nd-round draft selection that the Redskins spent on him way back in 2017. So in any event, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not, I repeat, not the best NFL coverage it could be. And also remember, I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. Listen to this very clearly on the way out. Listen to Ron Rivera, listen to his tone, and listen to what he's actually saying about Ryan Anderson and the prospects of trying to get him on the field in the upcoming 2020 season. We'll talk later. Leave it down in the comment section along with the like. We'll revisit this comment and this topic on Thursday night unless something else transpires like a trade. Then we'll be back sooner. But if not, we'll reconvene on Thursday and we'll talk all about this. But I'll see you guys then. Take care.
Defensively, you would have loved to have seen how the linebackers have gone, things have done. Ryan Anderson is a young man that we obviously got to find a home for, find how we can use Ryan with his particular skill set.